Hey everybody, it is so hard to believe that it is already August. I feel like I just blinked and the summer has flown by. But that being said, there are still plenty of summer things that you can still sneak into your summer garden, as well as starting some of your fall things to grow. And some flowers you can still be growing right now too. And we're gonna go over all of that today. So this will change slightly depending on where you are located in the country. So we are here in Zone 7 in Oklahoma. So everything that we are doing right now won't necessarily be what you are doing at that exact time. But that being said, a lot of the things I'm talking about today are general for a lot of the areas. And I will say, if you haven't already downloaded our From Seed to Spoon app, make sure you do that because you can see customized planting dates based on your location. So you don't have to go through, calculate out how many days do I have, or how many weeks do I have before the first fall frost? And you just takes all the guesswork out of it. It makes it so much more simple for you. You can just go through and see the exact planting dates, and then you know exactly what you need to be planting. So bush beans are something that you can grow pretty much wherever you are. If you're in the colder zones or the warmer zones, you can still be growing some bush beans, and they are a fast harvest too. So if you don't have a lot of time before your first fall frost, don't worry, you can still be sneaking in some bush beans. Zucchini is another really fast grower, and you should be able to have time to be getting a harvest of zucchini if you get that planted in the garden right now. And same goes for cucumbers, especially if you get the smaller cucumber varieties, you can still be having time to go through and get a harvest of cucumbers before your first fall frost. So this is the perfect time as well to start a lot of your herbs. So things like our cilantro, parsley, dill, all of those do really well this time of year. So I'm starting a lot of my herbs around this time. And it also seems like the time has flown by because it is also time to be starting our root crops again. I feel like I just harvested those like yesterday. But it is time to get started again with those here. If it's not time yet in your area, it will be very soon. So I am going through and I'm going to be starting a lot of carrots and radish and beets and turnips. All of those are good to be started right now. In fact, this is my favorite time of year to grow those root crops because whenever you harvest them, whenever it gets colder out, they tend to get sweeter and they taste so much better. I absolutely love growing, especially carrots. It's my favorite time of year to grow carrots. So depending on your location as well, a lot of places can start to plant some of your greens. So things like lettuce, spinach, kale, especially as the temperatures start to cool down a little bit for you. I'm going to be planting these more towards the end of the month. But again, depending on where you are, right now might be the perfect time to be starting a lot of your greens. So it is still too warm to be planting a lot of my broccoli and cabbage and things like that outside. But if I don't get them started now, I'm probably not going to have enough time to be able to have a really good harvest from them before they die off from the extreme cold that we're going to have. So what I do with these is I start a lot of those indoors. So I have a seed starting area in my garage and I use these Park Seed Biodomes, which makes seed starting a breeze, by the way. If you haven't checked them out, you need to check them out. It is so simple to plant and take care of them. And then transplanting is super simple too. You just pop out the little sponge and pop them in. It's amazing. But anyways, I always start all of my broccoli and cabbage and let's see, what else am I doing? Cauliflower, things like that. I'm going to be starting indoors and then I'm going to be transplanting them outdoors once it gets to be good temperature. But that is something huge that I'm doing this month to get a head start on my fall season for those brassicas. And again, I do want to mention too, if you don't have the From Seed to Spoon app, make sure you check it out because it will give you exact planting dates. So that way you know when you can get started on all of these and when you should get started on all of these. So you have plenty of time left to make sure you get a harvest from them before your frosts hit in. And then there's still plenty of time to sneak in a lot of those flowers too. You will have a lot of time left to even grow some of the summer flowers that don't tolerate frosts. Like I was just out here like a week ago or so planting some zinnias, and we still have sunflowers popping up because they just grow wild here now. But you still have plenty of time to sneak in a lot of those depending on where you live. But if you are in a colder area and you're worried about frost hitting in, there are flowers that you can still grow. Things like pansies, violas, snapdragons do really well too. A lot of those will tolerate some of the cold weather coming in, so that way you can get them started now and let them establish themselves, and they'll still be blooming for you come into the fall. And then of course I can't leave out calendula. That is one of my new favorite flowers that I discovered this year that I love to grow, and those flowers are just gorgeous and you can use them in so many ways. It's incredible. You can use them for medicinal purposes, you can eat them, you can grow them. They're amazing for a companion plant for a lot of your plants to repel pests. There's so many uses, plus they're just so beautiful. I love them. So those are another one of my favorites that does really well in the cool weather. So I hope that helps give you a little bit of inspiration on things that you can still be growing this August and through the fall and winter months even. And we will be going over a lot more things that we are growing in our garden as well. So make sure, if you aren't already following us, make sure you follow us and subscribe as well. I hope to see you all again soon, and I should be seeing you guys every Tuesday for our live streams, answering any of your gardening questions and hanging out for an hour around lunchtime. So I hope that you are able to join us this next Tuesday.